AMC is going all Willy Wonka and wanting to make candy. What do we got here, Jonathan?
Okay. Well, we got Michael O'Hearn who writes, a while back, we heard AMC was going to start selling its own popcorn in stores. And today, Adam Aron announced he wants to start selling AMC candy at the concession stands in an effort to reduce overhead costs by selling other brands. Do you think this is a good idea? And furthermore, do you think people will latch on to the idea? Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot for calling that in, Michael. Now, look, right up the front, I'm not going to be disingenuous. Everybody knows that I think Adam Aron is the biggest boob of an executive in the film exhibition in the world right now. I mean, he might be a wonderful personal guy. Maybe he and I would get along great if we knew each other personally, but I don't think he does a very good job running that company. That being said, and that's just my opinion. That being said, this is interesting. Now, look, one of the things you got to understand about movie theaters is that they do not make their money from selling movie tickets, because the vast majority of that money, there's this myth out there that theaters keep 50%. Theaters do not keep 50%. Okay, let me just be very clear about that. They don't. The vast majority of the money that a movie ticket generates goes back to the distributors and the studios. Rightfully so, to a degree. They do gouge the theater sometimes quite badly, but so the theaters get a little bit of money from the movie tickets, maybe like 30% of that ticket. Movie theaters do not make their money on movie ticket sales. They make their money on concession sales. One studio head or one theater chain head at CinemaCon one year famously said, "We are not in the movie business. We're in the candy business." And he's not wrong, because that's where the bulk of their money comes from. So when it comes to their candy business, you got to forgive them if they're going to take that very seriously. And now Adam Aron has come up with this idea. Hey, you know what? Instead of selling a box of M&Ms, in which M&Ms is going to get 60% of what we sell that box of M&Ms for, why don't we make our own AMC candy? And we'll keep all that candy money. And by the way, if you want to know why does one licorice cost $3? That's why, because AMC's got to give a bunch of the money back to the candy manufacturer, and then they got to create that high price is what profit they get to keep for themselves so they can keep the lights on. So Adam Aron comes up with this idea of, what if we just make our own AMC candy? All right. Let's look at that for a second. I'm of two minds on it. Because on the one hand, it's actually a pretty forward-thinking idea if you're a movie theater executive. If your real money comes from the candy sales and comes from concessions, why not come up with a way where you keep a bigger chunk of that revenue at the concessions? Instead of selling a bag of Reese's Pieces M&Ms, sell a bag of AMC's Choco Peanut Butter Delights. And you got to pay whatever it costs to make those candies, but instead of keeping like 30%, you're keeping like 90%. And your revenues go up strategically. Listen, honestly, I'm not a big Adam Aron fan, but that's not a bad idea, actually. However, that being said, there's another way to look at this that worries me a little bit. And that worry is this. When you go and look at and stand in a concession stand line, you know there's only so much space for so much candy, right? It ain't all going to be, when they start introducing AMC candies, that means they're going to start pushing some things out. Look, this comes to us from a report over at Deadline. This is Adam Aron saying this. He goes, "We recently noticed, as a result of the pandemic and the supply chain shortages, all of which is true, that candy manufacturers had increased their price to us by a huge amount. Again, which is also true. Some candy makers are increasing their cost for wholesale candy as much as 33% in a one-time bump. That kind of got us thinking very hard about our candy and
there we go.
And we realized that we could manufacture a private label brand of candy to very high quality standards, price it less expensively than our current candy is priced, and have higher profit margins." So again, this sounds like a win-win, right? Because not only is it a win for AMC, it could be a win for us as the consumers. They're saying, hey, we can create our own candy line, make it way less expensive, therefore we can sell it cheaper to our patrons, Like instead of them having to pay $6 for a little box of candy, maybe they'll have to pay $4.25 for a little. We can make the prices lower for our customers and we still make more money. Again, on the one hand, that sounds great. And it's very creative thinking. However, I do have a worry. And maybe I'm worrying about nothing, but here's my worry. Again, number one, look at the size of the concession stand. There's only a limited amount of space there for candies to be out there. You know, when you go into a concession stand, you have limited options already, right? When they start introducing their own AMC candy, it's going to bump some of the other candies off. And there's only going to be so much more. I mean, they do say we're still going to sell other people's candy, but you know they're not going to sell as much. You know the shelf space and the prime, high profile, highly visible candy rack is not going to have M&Ms on it, and it's not going to have, Choco frosted sugar bombs. Bonus points to anybody who knows that reference. It's not going to have Choco frosted sugar bombs.
I guess
it's going to have points. AMC.
No, I've heard of it, but I don't know what it's. I can't remember.
I'm going to keep my eye on the live chat, see if anybody knows it. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Rocket Money. The average person has around 12 paid subscriptions. Think about that. If you think you're only subscribed to a handful of services, you might want to double check. With Rocket Money, you can quickly identify and cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones you don't want and don't even use. Simply find the subscription you don't want and press cancel, and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. No more long hold times with customer service or tedious emailing back and forth. Rocket Money makes canceling subscriptions as easy as the click of a button. My wife Ann and I moved out of Burbank 2 years ago, and one of the first things I discovered when I loaded up Rocket Money was that I was still paying for a gym membership I haven't even been to in Burbank in 2 years. So stop throwing away your money. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Campea. That's rocketmoney.com/Campea. rocketmoney.com/Campea. It's going to have AMC candy. Mm-hmm. That's where all the Prime stuff is going to be. And here's the part where I get, by the way, Thomas Mitchell in the live chat gets it. Calvin and Hobbes. Points to you, Thomas Mitchell. 4 points to Hufflepuff. Okay, so
you're Hufflepuff.
Here's the other big problem. So besides the fact that they're going to start kicking out some of the candies that I do like to have there, here's the thing. AMC Theaters has the worst popcorn in the movie theater industry. Now, I still eat it every time I go. But every time I end up going to another movie theater and I get a bag of popcorn, I always go, oh my God, this is so much better than AMC's. AMC makes the lowest quality popcorn and puts the lowest quality butter-like substance, because it ain't butter. That stuff you put on your popcorn ain't butter, but I still put it on. But they
with a straw.
Yeah, with a straw. I layer that son of a bitch. So AMC already makes the lowest quality popcorn with the lowest quality buttery substance that is still passable and people will still eat, because I'm the sucker. I'm the one who still gets it every single time I go. There is no reason for me to believe they won't take the same approach to their other candy. There's no reason for me to believe they won't. They will do the app. What's the Food and Drug Administration bare minimum requirements for quality? Okay, do that and then add 0.01% above it. And my worry is that instead of having some delicious Reese's Pieces, they're going to have the AMC Choco Peanut Butter Delights, and it's going to be like
it's gonna have
crap.
It's gonna have that white haze on the chocolate.
Yes.
They're actually gonna have containers like Sweet Factory where you just put a bunch of candy in the bag and they weigh it.
Yeah. Like, no, sorry.
Be okay with that.
I did not find rat shit in my bag of candy. I actually found a rat taking a shit in my bag of candy.
Oh, wow.
And that's my worry. Again, I'm not saying that will happen. I'm telling you as a consumer, that is my fear. That is my, not finding a rat taking a shit in a bag of candy. That's not going to happen. But I mean, it's my fear that they're going to just
on it.
crank out the cheapest, lowest possible quality candy that can still sell, bump the candy I do like off the shelves, put theirs on there, and that's what you got.
Because what's going to happen is, let's say they do find that they're making money. They're going to push more to make more money.
Absolutely.
By pushing to a lower. That's what happened to
100%.
this Chinese food place that was near my house. The owner left, right? And he gave all the ingredients to like the next people, and they started using cheaper quality sauces.
Okay,
and it
remember-
just completely sucked. I don't go there anymore.
Remember right beside AMC Burbank 16?
Right.
There was that Asian seafood all-you-can-eat buffet right beside the AMC
Oh,
Burbank
right,
16,
right.
When they opened with their grand opening, we all used to go there for lunch a
Yeah,
bunch
it was
because
so
the
good.
food was so good. But slowly over time, the quality of the food got worse and worse and worse as they were cutting costs. And we all just stopped eating there. Within 2 years, the place shut down. I agree with Ray. I think what my fear here is that AMC is going to make it as cheap as they possibly can. It's not going to be anywhere near as good as the other stuff, but we're not going to have any other options. So just like their popcorn, I'm stuck buying their popcorn. And what's going to happen is then they'll just keep making it worse and worse and worse. Why? Because, hey, you're coming to the movie theaters, you're going to be snacky. What else are you going to get? And again, I'm not saying that's what they will do.
Right.
I'm saying that's my fear. Because listen, I will be the first person to say, if they create their own brand of candy and we eat it and we're like, damn, this is good, and it's cheaper than what the other stuff was, it's a stroke of genius because they're going to make the customers happier and they're going to make more money. When you can do both at the same time, that's gold.
Here's another plus. They don't have to go by they can make up candy.
Yep.
Like from what people are suggesting. And it could be AMC's own candy. Like, I brought in those chips for you yesterday.
The
Those
honey
Rappers
barbecue
chips,
cheesy things.
where it's like all the rappers,
Master P chips.
It's all the rappers' ideas or like what they want in a chip. AMC could start doing the same, and you could get a candy that you can only get at AMC, and it could like bring sales up. I don't know.
Well, I mean, again,
There's positives and
after
negatives.
eating their popcorn, I don't have a lot of faith in their ability to make good tasting candy, but maybe they will. Maybe they will. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this move by AMC? I have to admit, it is creative, out-of-the-box thinking to create their own candy line. My only worry is if it follows the pattern of their absolute lowest possible quality while still sellable and digestible by human biology popcorn, then it could be pretty bad. But guys, whatever you guys think about this, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.